Guys, rolling 193. What's up, brother?
193, baby. Cheers.
Oi, welcome back, dude.
Hell yeah.
So, I want to get into. I've been watching. There's so many mob podcasts. Are you familiar with these podcasts?
Yes, I am. Where when you pour the wine like that, that's your homie. When you pour it like that, that's the guy nobody talks to at the table, kind of shit.
Oh no, I don't know about that. What is it? What is that?
He's an ex-mob fucking guy. You know, I forget his name. Frank something.
I don't know, but I got caught in a little. With Sammy the Bull's got a great one. He's got a great podcast. But
I didn't know he had a podcast.
I don't like the fact that they all have podcasts. I think that's weird. You know what I mean?
You mean it's like, you find it weird that the rat that was working with the feds, has his own podcast where he talks even more?
Well, I'm just like, but all of them, like they're all doing it. There's you can just go down any rabbit hole, and there's Hitman, this, that, all these guys, and I go, what kind of hit me was that this thing of ours, this phone that we all have, is bigger than their oath that they took in the mob, right? Or it's making everybody a rat. Everybody wants their 15 minutes.
I see exactly what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? It's weird.
Yeah.
And it's interesting stories.
Because I was just thinking, how the fuck is this guy still alive? And how is he still talking?
Right. All these guys, like a lot of Sammy the Bull. Now, Sammy the Bull is like, I'm not even against him that much. You know, he ratted, but like.
I'm not saying I'm against him or with him.
He found out he was going to get offed anyways, apparently. Yeah. Apparently, Gotti was going to off him. Yeah. Apparently. But, so it's like.
And old Teflon's gone nowadays, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but it's weird to. It kind of hit me. I was like, that's how powerful this is, that all these guys that are sworn to secrecy and all these guys that usually are they go about their life, they're quiet on how they made money. The fame, to get their face on the phone means more to them than anything. They'll even risk their life.
That's his name. It's Franceschi or some shit like that.
Oh, right. Francesi?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
He's
and his father was a big mobster.
Yeah. He's the one that I've seen, not searching for anything.
I think his name's Michael Francesi.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. That sounds right.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of his name, but I'm like, every time I see his face,
Frankie, that's close. Yeah. I mean, they're all a Frankie right, or, whatever.
They're all married to fucking Marias and.
Yeah. And it's so goddamn interesting. Like, if you haven't listened to the Sammy the Bull one, it's fantastic. The way that the production's incredible. They're doing like episodes and seasons and stuff. And,
wow, that's crazy.
And it's just and he's a good storyteller. Sammy the Bull is very smart. He's a smart guy.
Well, that's why he made it as far as he did, but
smart businessman, you could say.
And still stayed alive, because shit, most people from his time era that were fucking anywhere close to the mafia was in the ground. Yeah. Or still doing time.
I mean, it's funny because that life is like, the first half of that life is awesome. Then the last half
is the reason why the reason why you got shown the fake shit that you could have in your life. You're like, oh yeah, it sounds great. No, you can't have that forever though. Yeah, you only get a few moments too.
It doesn't stay forever. No. But it's weird to me that it's just all of them. Like, all these guys are coming out, and you're just like, and they're just telling their story. They're telling everything.
That's
Not only
wild.
That's
wild.
They're naming names.
Yeah, that shit is wild to me, Ian.
Like, I have secret names when I'm just talking about somebody who banged a chick or something.
Yeah, right. Because we got that code. That code has been bred into us, dude.
And these boys are flying names everywhere.
And these boys are like, hey, look, I don't want to mention any names, but this motherfucker right here.
Well, they're doing that. They're also mentioning by name people they killed and all that shit. And I'm just going, something is wrong here, guys. Something's wrong.
I mean, you mentioned a family, somebody that you killed. You don't think one of their family members is going to be some kind of nut job that's going to say, well...
I would be one if I heard a friend's name get answered, and he's bragging about it.
He's bragging about it, and he's got a beautiful family that...
I'd invite him on my podcast and then blast him right here on the camera.
Live.
Dude, you want to know how many hits that gets? Holy shit. Fucking.
Yeah, but then you'd be as dumb as those rappers that sing about their crimes that they committed.
I know.
Only you got video evidence.
I know. Only this one's real. Yeah. Because rappers are all making it up.
I got all the clout. Now I'm locked up for life. See y'all.
Again, I guess it's the same thing as that. There's that YouTuber that died. You know, he would get like aerial shots, so he'd like hang off the edge of a mountain so he can get likes and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa.
Dude.
He falls off. It is these phones is so powerful that it's getting mobsters to all be rats. It's getting people to talk about their problems online, just normal people.
Well, I mean, it's getting dudes to chop off their junk because they see that they think that it's okay when it's not. It's not. That's a form of a psycho.
Well, I mean, if you're a guy and you can get talked into chopping off your junk,
I think probably a better thing for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's probably good. Let's get rid of you.
But I just care about people, and I'm like, nah, just don't,
It's probably good to get rid of you if you're that dumb.
Well, I'd say sterilize them, yeah, but you don't want to get rid of the joystick, dude, because I don't think anybody's gonna be happy about that.
Zero people are happy once that happens.
Right.
Zero.
Because then you realize all the gifts. Hey, I could pee hands free standing up. This is awesome. Not anymore.
Fucking masturbation.
Right.
Gone.
Hey,
gone.
You know about the ghost pains, right? So like my hand gets blown off and I still feel my hand.
Right.
What if you feel a ghost boner?
I bet they do.
A ghost boner that you can't get rid of.
I bet it's
like that kickstand in the morning, when you try to fucking roll over and you're like, ah.
They think they got the kickstand. They're like, oh,
no.
What's that first time they wake up from that? When they go, oh, I did it.
They go to stand, pee, stand
Whoa.
up.
That whole thing is insane.
Very strange.
I mean, you could say that for all of this, like with the guys that are getting their nose cut off so they can look like lizards and their ears cut off and shit. You seen all those guys?
All the different forms of
mutilation. Splitting their tongues and stuff. And there's a bunch of those guys. Like, they're all starting to look the same. There's multiples.
There's that one that wants to look like an alien. So he had his genitalia removed, and now it's just like a little, like, urethra. That's all it is, like a little hole. So it's sexless.
Again, where are all these guys getting that money?
I would like to know.
A lot of money for this plastic
They probably
surgery.
got their OnlyFans and shit, and they're like, "Hey, want to see me turn myself into a freak?" And they're like, "Fuck it, here's $5."
I mean, it's still. I mean, we're looking at for some of these people's surgery. I mean, you're looking at $1 million. They got to be millionaires now.
Yeah, we do live in the weirdest state in the fucking country, so I'm sure California foots the note for that shit though too.
Well, I mean, like sure. Insurance isn't going to pay for that, right?
No, but I'm sure Gavin Newsom's probably got some kind of fucked up fun plan,
probably
for that.
Something going on. But it's the same thing where it's like, they're what am I looking for? Like they're trying to they're making like cutting their nose off and ears off and splitting your tongue and everything cool and shit, right?
Mutilating yourself, yeah.
They're making it cool so more people do it, and then I guarantee there's it's like I get buyer's remorse, right? When you buy something too expensive and you're just like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
So I imagine there'd be buyer's remorse by getting your nose cut off. You're just like, oh shit.
Like, I kind of miss a chick tickling the tip of my nose, or actually getting the tip of my nose up inside that hood and just,
Well, I mean, I don't know, because it's the same. You're getting tattooed, whatever, blah blah blah, right? But when that nose cannot come back,
no,
right? And I guess same with tattoos. You can't really get rid of them.
I mean, you can cover them up, you can laser them off, you could do a lot of new stuff nowadays. Right. But that's not, even though that's permanent, it can still be, it's not that noticeable.
Right.
You can throw a long sleeve shirt over it and look like an average Joe.
Like, I imagine the dude that got his ears and nose cut off and then his hand cut off, so he has the
He's doing a shocker the whole time.
Yeah, there's guys because they're trying to make like an alien hand or they're trying or a lizard hand.
Yeah.
So they're cutting their own fingers off and shit. And
dumbasses.
But my question to that would be, is I don't care how much everyone's got to be like, who's coming over? Like, say his name's John, right?
Yeah.
And John's got his ears and nose cut off, and he's got the weird hands, and his whole face is tattooed. And they go, oh, John the lizard guy's coming over, and I go, fuck.
Is there anything that this guy's going to say that's going to improve my life?
Yeah, I go, fuck.
Negative.
And I bet he's not even that fun.
No.
You know what I mean?
Like, he probably can't even take a joke, dude.
I bet he's not that fun. We can't go play ball. We can't play we're not going to go shoot hoops.
No, you know? Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not getting away with any kind of crimes with your ass around, dude.
Right. You're useless. You've made yourself useless.
Completely useless. You might as well be a poster on the fucking wall, dude.
Now you go, well, it's just the way I look. Yeah, but it's odd because
but the fact that you did that to yourself, and this seemed like a good idea over and over again because it wasn't all just done in one foul swoop. You know,
right.
You had to constantly go after the same goal to lizard yourself up, or whatever the fuck it is you thought you were doing. That was cool. And did you think you're gonna find a lizard lady?
Like,
I mean, because
I want to see these folks when they get older.
I do too.
Like I can't wait, and that's going to happen too because all of us.
Or do they get older?
Because they probably won't make it that far.
Just whack themselves in.
But I want to see like old folks' homes are going to be crazy.
Well, remember fucking years ago there was a comic that was like, man, imagine this this music that's going on right now. He's like, imagine your grandparents being like, you remember that song, Back That Ass Up? You know, and, all this shit. And like,
yeah, we're going to be old as hell talking about fucking Pantera, dude, and the Misfits.
They're going to be like, that shit's weak. We got something that's way fucking harder than that. And you're like, really? And then you hear it and you're like,
yeah, but
I don't even know what that is.
It's going opposite.
I know, yeah.
Because how can it get harder? How can it get harder than Slipknot?
Than Pantera and...
You know what I mean? Slipknot's first album. How can it get harder than that?
I've heard stuff like Cannibal Corpse that I don't like, where it's like,
well, yeah, they're still trying, but that's still not necessarily harder in my opinion.
No, it's not in mine.
Or
either.
Faster. You can't go faster than Slayer.
No.
How do you go faster? Dragon Force. Even though I don't like, they're dumb, but you know what I mean? It's so fast.
It's fast as fuck.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of talent there, but they're lame.
Yeah,
I got you. They're lame as fuck, dude.
Dragon Force. The first time I heard them on the video game, I was like, these guys are the greatest band I've ever heard.
That's same thing I thought too. Oh, I'm glad.
I go. This is incredible.
Like, why have I never heard of these guys before?
And then you put the album on.
Oh, man.
The next song. Yeah, the next song, same shit. Next song, same shit. Yep. It's the same song. Mm-hmm. And then it's all about the fire and the flames and so far away. Every song. And then you just go, this is so gay.
He's playing Dungeons and Dragons while he's fucking writing this song.
These guys are dorks.
This guy has never had a date in his life, dude.
But it's like, yeah, it's so funny. They're a silly band. But what were we talking about before? Oh, I don't know how we got. Oh yeah, the old folks' homes are going to be crazy because we're going to be the new old folks' home age, and everybody's all tattooed. So it's just going to be a bunch of tattooed old people walking around
with blown out fucking earplugs and fucking, a shit ton of missing teeth, dude, because most of them did meth.
Well, the piercings are definitely coming out when you get older. I don't think they can hold those in. So they have the gauges. So they'll just have the floppy ear.
But you seen that when they have the blowouts, dude, and fucking, dude, or it tears at the bottom. It looks like two fucking udders hanging from their ear. You're like,
then they get them sewed back, but you can still see it like the sew back.
Yeah, it's all stretched.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a bunch of the gauges.
Fucking dumbass.
Dude, that fad butt fucked a bunch of kids, dude. That fad fucked up these kids because those gauges never last. I never saw a kid leave those gauges in longer than, say, a few months.
No.
And then their ears are just stuck. Yeah. So they'd get them stretched out as much as they could. And then after a while, it was like, all right, that fad, because it was a fad. Mm-hmm. And now that fad is over with because they have
gone.
And so they're just white kids with these ears that flop around because they had wood planks in their ears.
Stupid, dude. It's the dumbest shit I ever saw, dude. I was like, what's next? The disc and the lip, the fucking neck fucking rings? And
I mean, everybody's trying to find a way to, but they don't know they're doing it for a fad. They think they're being rebellious.
I'm being rebellious.
But they're really different. Jumping in line.
But, it's like that SLC Punk, fucking, that whole thing where she's like, you think you're different? You think you're rebelling? You're just like everybody else. And he's like, At the end of the day, I was nothing but a fucking poser.
I gotta watch that movie again.
That was great, dude.
You know, the guy who played the father in that movie.
Yes,
he's in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
He's great. That guy's fantastic.
He was perfect. Dude. Yeah, he was the perfect.
And what's funny?
That was Shooter, dude.
Yeah, Shooter. That's right.
Shooter.
Yeah, but his parents were pretty reasonable, if you ask me. They're pretty cool,
real
dude.
Reasonable. Real reasonable.
So he was kind of being a dick because they were like, "Hey, we're it's cool, man."
He was young, dumb, and full of cum and just charged up, dude. I remember what it was like being like that.
But he was like, for the first time, I could say, "Fuck you."
Hell yeah.
But the parent was pretty cool. He was like,
I'm hip.
I'm hip.
But the the reference to the Native Americans, I'm baffled. That was such a good speech.
Yeah. It is funny too. It's like I learned a lot of those guys. You know, when you get older, you learn a lot of like quote unquote gutter punks or the with 87 belts on and
gotta have
and the mohawk, right?
Studs all over your fucking body.
I find they come from pretty well-to-do families because it costs a lot of money to dress like that,
and that's why we can never do that.
It's a lot of money to dress like that. Yep. It's a lot of maintenance to dress like that.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of to get that hock to stay.
Yeah.
To get that hock to stay up.
After a while, when it became hot days, dude, and I'd have that one that always folded down, I was like,
I love those at the shows. The guys there's always the folded hock.
I'm like, oh, it got hot. My skull's on fire.
Yeah, but what I learned, a lot of the guys back in the day, when we were playing and stuff, and even to this day, when I become, friends, friendly with these folks, and you go to their house, you're like, holy shit, dude, you're fucking loaded. So, and it's funny because they play this whole like,
from the streets,
this whole from the streets kind of thing, and you're like, it's fun. Well, just like in SLC Punk, the punkest dude in there was the Jason Segel character.
Yeah, the quietest dude.
The quietest dude. Fuck you up. It's true. That's very true. And I guess that's true in every scene, right?
It is because it doesn't matter. Even when we were kids, we hung out with fucking other people's crowds and shit.
The big loudmouths in the crowd were usually the weakest ones. Definitely. The one that was quiet, you got to be careful.
That's the one who's planning.
Yeah.
That's the one who's planning. That dude is Bruce Lee motherfucker, dude.
Like in American Gangster. He goes, the loudest one is the weakest one in the room. You understand?
I was thinking of Family Guy when the mob's fighting outside, but it's the Yakuza, and Peter's like, and Lois is like, get inside, Peter. And he's like, no, that guy hasn't said anything or done anything yet. And I know it's going to be good. She's like, get inside the house. Pulls him inside the house. As soon as the door shuts, all you hear is, whoa! And everyone's getting cleaned up out there. He's like, I knew it.
Is that an older one?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I've seen that one. I've seen it. Have you watched Family Guy lately?
Nah.
I haven't seen it lately, man. It's interesting, and I don't know if my sense of humor is over it or they're just not as funny as it used to be.
They haven't been funny for many, many seasons.
Because we've been trying it. We've been let's put on some Family Guy.
The newer shit, nah.
Because Family Guy was gold, dude.
Yep. Well,
Season 3.
Well, especially when as the issues were happening, that shit was like, right then and there. Like how South Park's still doing it. South Park's still doing it. Fucking great, dude.
You know what? I can't get into South Park.
Really?
It's weird, right? Like I'm
not into it.
I don't hate it, but I always put it on. I always go, I'm gonna watch it, and then I just, I'm off.
I do the same thing.
But Family Guy, I was in. I was all in.
Family Guy, I'd always watch most of the fucking episodes, but after a while, dude, when they start having things to do with Meg.
Yeah. The Meg ones are my favorite. The early Meg ones where they fuck with her.
Yeah, I'm not talking about when they're fucking with her. I'm talking about when they're making the episode about her. I'm like, I don't care. I'm checking out.
The Meg episodes where they're always fucking with her is my favorite, and when Brian's a douchebag, the dog.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
When he's being ultimate douchebag, is the funniest shit I've ever seen, dude.
Well, it is perfect because he drives a Prius too, so you're like, of course he'd be a douchebag, dude. Why not?
Yeah. But Family Guy is one of those shows where they'll do a flashback, a cutaway is the right word. They do like a cutaway, and it's so funny that I will start laughing uncontrollably where my sides hurt. And there's not a lot of things that kind of make you do that like, holy shit, and just with simple shit,
Well, yeah, because there's like the one where they're fucking they went back to Germany and shit, you know, and he was throwing the fucking pennies,
That's a good one.
the pennies, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Feed the Jews." And fucking Mort comes out, and then there's like 60 Morts and shit.
Yeah,
but then the birds, dude, was the best part, and he's like, "Cheap, Jew, Jew." I was like, fucking.
No, the best Jew joke that they did on there was where it was instead of Dr. Frankenstein, they did Dr. Finkelstein.
Oh,
and you know that shit. And then he picks his pocket and goes, "It's a 5. It's a 5." Instead of "it's alive." That was one of those where I was going, "Oh my god, dude, gold,
straight gold."
But just like simple shit, like when Peter was he goes, that was like the one time when Peter was an alley cat, and he was fighting another alley cat and going, and then but it was so stupid that I just died laughing. It was crazy. Yeah. So, and you haven't caught that, but I think maybe
at that time it was still funny was when I first hooked up with you out in Hollywood, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this guy's one of the writers from Family Guy."
Oh, you met fucking what's his name? God damn it, I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too. Nice guy.
Yeah,
but I was like, dude, love your shit.
His last name's Acosta. What the fuck was his first name? Boy, I'm drawing a blank, man.
But yeah,
anyways, I still have the drawings up in my room.
It was still funny then. It was still real funny then.
Yeah, but yeah, it's wild.
But it seemed like I think.
Do you think that I mean, Seth MacFarlane no longer is writing for the show. He's not with the show anymore.
No, and I think he sold all the rights to it too.
Okay, but. Do you think it's because of this current climate it's hard for people to write? Do you think they're not able to get good writers, and writers are always afraid to kind of say some funny shit?
I would say it's hard to find good writers that aren't afraid.
Yeah.
I would say to load up all those chambers.
Yeah, it's all the above.
Would be a hard mix to get out of today's culture, especially in this state. Yeah,
it's all the above. Mm-hmm. But if a guy just, things are even funnier now because you got all these things that are offensive, because offensive things are funny, right?
To me, yeah.
To everybody.
Definitely.
To everybody.
Yeah, they're just low-key trying to not...
Everybody's just afraid and scared, and they're programmed to do. They're programmed to do that. Because just before this, if I said faggot, right, no one would... It wouldn't even, no one bat an eye. Now...
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm actually never talking about gay people when I say fucking faggot.
Yeah, nobody is. It's stupid.
Yeah, so I like how they think they got the stronghold over that word too, but nah, you don't have.
But you can feel it in the air too. Like if you're around people and you say or fag or look at you fag, you could feel the air. People, that was taught. That was programmed into you in these last few years. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, because the old school gays, they don't give a shit. They don't bat an eye.
No gays care. They don't care. They're taught to care. They're taught to care right now.
These new ones are,
But I read something. Someone posted a thing too, which I've said this before is never ever in my life have I really thought about race that much until you guys force that shit, right? So now we all are constantly. Oh, that's what it was. This guy from it. Fuck. God damn it. There's a foreigner. And there's a foreign guy, and I can't remember which podcast. My brain is killing me today. Anyways, but he was like, your country is so obsessed with race.
It's a fact.
He's like, and we're taught that. It didn't used to be. We're taught that. And we're taught that by the people who aren't supposed to be racist. Like all they do is think about race all day. You know?
Yeah, which is funny because I remember when I found out for a fact that there was different races, dude, and it was me and Josh. And I was like, motherfucker, I go to the beach all fucking weekend and shit, trying to get as tan as you and shit, and I can't do that. And he was like, it's because this is how I normally am. Like, I don't have to go to the sun to get this. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna beat that then. I'm gonna get out there in the sun all the time, dude. I'll get dark.
It's like that Shane Gillis joke where he's like all my liberal friends are constantly tweeting, I'm not racist, and he's like, Are you sure? Because you're the one thinking about it all day long.
Right. And why are you thinking about it?
Yeah,
because the only people that do are fucking racist.
Yeah, once you got to go, I'm not racist. And you got to go, well.
If you got to point that out, you might be.
You might be thinking about it often.
You might be.
Yeah. But usually it's just scaredy cat fucking white people. Just little scared white people. Like, hey, I'm on the right team. Hey, I'm cool.
Well, there's so much of that nowadays, dude, and that's what makes me sick, dude. It's like fucking white people need to wake up to this.
White people are sissies.
Oh, well, they need to wake up and stop being controlled by everything.
Wake up, white people.
Yeah. What, dude? All this shit doesn't control you. You got your own mind. Stop being a little bitch.
Yes.
Yeah?
Stop saying you hate your own race.
Right. That really irritates the fuck out of me.
Like you get it. Well, because it's a cop out.
It is.
It's not.
Cop-out.
It's not because you really do hate you. So you want your whole family to die. Shut up.
Yeah. Not only that, none of us got to choose, son. So all right, stop confusing your own fucking mind with rhetoric.
But it's like I said, that race game that I used to love to play because I love watching people flail, dude.
Oh, squirm in their own fucking
squirm,
shit.
dude.
Oh, yes.
And it's and every white person will constantly be like, white people. I'd annihilate white people. I go, you can't pick your own race.
No.
And it's funny. It's no other race will say that. It's only white people like, we should die. You're like, oh my God, dude. Like, fucking just play the game. And they refuse to play the game. That's how sissy you are. Mm-hmm. They go, just play the game. It's fun.
Come on.
Yeah.
Take one out. Let's see it.
You got to take one out to save you. It's a fun game. Everybody, if you haven't heard this one, it's called the race game. It's fun to play at Thanksgiving. Okay?
Yeah. That's perfect timing, dude.
Yeah. And you have to annihilate one whole race to save your family. What race? And you can't pick your own race. Mm-hmm. What race would that be? And so it's always fun to play. And if you don't want people to say it out loud, it's fun to put it in a hat. Yeah. You can just fold it up, put it in a hat. No one knows who it is, and you can kind of. It's fun to watch. It's fun.
It is, dude. Yeah. That sounds like great times right now.
Yeah, and I did
because I actually have a few that I would not be able to wait to see the look on everybody's faces, the ones that I would choose. Because it would be so. It would. Come on.
Well, what's funny is
who thinks about Somalians? I do.
Well, what's funny though, if you pick right now, there's a race that is protected. We can say that it's protected to say if you say anything, everybody ooh. So, but it's funny to watch how all the other races are fine to annihilate except for that one, and white people are like, ooh, you can't say that one. Okay, what about this one? That's cool. So you kind of see the hypocrisy and all that,
right?
But yeah, you see how you've been programmed to think that, and only in the last few years. Well, you didn't always feel that way.
I would say even the Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, we can get rid of the Chinese. Why not? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's no more worries. Right?
Yeah. Then who's next? Here's what you got to do. You got to make the list of like, well, say that didn't work.
All right. How about the how about the Koreans?
It's all anything Asian then.
No. I'm going down the list.
Who are the hottest Asian chicks? Those are the ones I'll keep.
Well, that's a good one. Because I would have to say
Thai chicks.
No, I don't think they're the most beautiful. They got some pretty cute, but the Japanese chicks that are mixed into Hawaiian culture.
Well, like the Polynesian.
Yeah.
Is that counting as Asian though? Like if they're Hawaiian?
Yeah, I think so. Right? That's.
I guess so.
We're
saying mixed. You can't do mixed.
Fuck, dude.
You gotta do
that's.
Yeah, because mixed races always look pretty good.
Oh my God, especially with them girlies, dude. Shit.
I mean, actually, you mix any of them with like white, that's pretty good.
Oh, I'd mix it all up.
Yeah, I mean, half black, half Asian. That's interesting.
That's good.
Those are nice.
That's good.
Yeah, those are nice. Mm-hmm. As long as they stay thin, they're all right because they can blow up.
Yeah, they can get ballooned. They can get ballooned.
I got a few in my mind right now.
Then you just got a blob.
Yeah. I got a few in my mind. I go, man, you're wasting the you're mixed. Like you got it made right there. You're hooked up.
Definitely.
Right, you're hooked up.
Yeah, better than anything I got. Because I always hear the white privilege thing, but I always laugh and I'm like, yeah, what did I get for college? Oh, what does everybody else get?
That's another bullshit word that people like to use because it doesn't. That's not a real thing.
I know.
It's never in my life has a cop ever let me go for being white.
And actually,
in fact, it's the opposite.
Actually, most people that say that stupid conundrum, know that there's no such thing.
Yeah,
because most of the time they're talking to me, and I'm like, "Where was it?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. Don't play that game. But we also grew up around here too, which is different. You know, you never know, and if you grew up in fucking South Dakota or whatever, you don't know.
Well, it's funny because whenever.
But I don't like the word, because you're born in America, so technically we all have privileges, American privilege, you could say.
Yeah. Well, the only white privilege I ever actually enjoyed was walking down Andy Street. Remember that ghetto block right up the street from my fucking folks' house, dude, on Downey and South Street, where it was the Tongans and the Crips that they're always fucking shooting at each other, but I used to buy the weed off of Pops over there and shit. That was the only privilege I got, because
they're not shooting you. You're like, you're not in the gang.
No, yeah. They're like, man, you're the only white motherfucker that comes down here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm very aware of that. Trust me.
How was that weed? Because that weed had to have been dog shit compared to what's around now.
It was the best.
Really?
Even back then, dude, Pops would hook it up. I'd have like $3-4 sometimes. I wouldn't have enough for a nickel bag, and this fool would pack it so fucking fat, dude. And it's not that Mexican cheap bullshit. This is like homegrown shit from somebody, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I was going there.
See, that's a great example too, is the how accepted weed is now, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's just the same thing. It's the same thought process. Is they told you that it's okay, right? So now people are just like, oh, it's cool. Because back then, if you're like, yeah, I smoke pot.
Hands behind your back.
Yeah.
Hands behind your back and stop resisting.
All of a sudden, you can buy it on every corner.
Oh, that one comic that said this one the best, I thought it was fucking so proper, dude. He was like, we're going to be telling our kids, back in the days, I used to have to get in the car with a guy I didn't know and drive to a place I'd never been to and hopefully get some weed and not get killed. And the kid's going to be like, why, the 7-Eleven was out?
Yeah.
Watch.
Well, here's one that blows your mind. We are the last generation to know what it's like to not have internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one ever in life, starting when internet came out, will ever know what that's like.
So that means we're always going to be looked at as dumb because we couldn't just click and get the information. Click and get the information.
I mean, almost, I guess, smarter, because you had to seek out information.
Nah.
You had to flip through books, encyclopedias.
I think sometimes that makes it stick longer, but with the shit my kid remembers, with just fucking as soon as I tell him, he's like downloaded, kind of kid. Kids.
Well. But think about that. We're the last, no human ever. We have experienced no internet.
I know how many laughs I get when I tell people that I didn't know the internet was around besides for porn. Once I got onto the internet, it took me dude, I think it was like a good 3 months to figure out that you could do more with it than just porn.
You can, but most people do mostly porn still.
Well, that's
why Pornhub is so huge.
That was the only way that I learned how to use the first time I ever used a computer at somebody's house, it was to look up porn.
Or Faces of Death or something weird.
Yeah,
crazy shit.
Yeah, it was always something like that. It was rotten.com.
Yeah, rotten.com, that was it. Or eFucked. One was called eFucked.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I never
It's just like rotten, kind of like rotten.com too. Yeah. But just really let that simmer, man. We experienced no internet and driving with no internet, driving with no GPS. Yep. We had to go to payphones to call somebody.
I used to have one right on my same street just until recently, like a year ago. They
finally got rid of it.
Took out the last one, dude. And I was like, well, I mean, there's people pissing on it and breaking it and fucking it up every chance they got.
I mean, I think that is crazy to really think about.
Yeah, that sucks. Because what about the people that don't have cell phones, or
who's that? Everyone has a cell phone.
Homeless people.
They have cell phones too.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them are so crazy they don't know. I'm just saying, in an emergency situation, we used to have a way to where you could just be walking down the street and grab a phone.
Right.
If you didn't have one, say your phone's
that's
dead
true.
And shit.
Yeah, I mean, for example, here's a great example. I dropped Angel off over at the Rolling Stones concert, right? I was like, I'll take you, because he didn't want to take his car and he Uber back or whatever. Anyways, my phone died on my way back, and I go, fuck.
Lovely.
I go,
lovely,
and my shit's broken, so it doesn't work to plug it in. And so I go, interesting. So I had to search for the freeway on ramp. I'm just driving around. I go, nope, because I got off that one, but I can't get on. So I'm searching. And I go, this is very interesting, right? I'm just searching.
It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you're just going, well, I know the thing runs that way, so I'm driving. Let's see if I can get on this way. You see a sign? All right, cool. So I can go that way. But you kind of go, luckily I know my way home from that, but say I never drove.
Say you were a little further out, into a spot you haven't been to before.
Yeah, you're driving around trying to find that freeway on-ramp. I'm still rocking and rolling. Yeah, I'm really not into drinking beer today, I think. What I may do, if you want to grab that whiskey that's on the bar there, I wouldn't mind having a sip. I think I may sip on a little whiskey tonight. Jenna's at Disneyland. I know you like Disneyland. But and phones, actual phones instead of cell phones. We were gone. So if your parents couldn't find you, they just had to wait till you came home or call your friend's house and be like, "Hey, have you seen Justin?" And they're like, "Oh, he went out with so and so." And you're like, "All right." It's weird to think, but no, I guess it's the same as somebody's grandfather fought in Vietnam or something. We weren't around during the Vietnam War, so we have no idea what that felt like.
No, all we can see is videos and hear stories.
Right. So people will still see movies where they didn't have cell phones. They'll go, "Why don't you just call on the cell phone?" Like kids will be like, well, "Just use the cell phone." They go, "They don't have them."
Well, there's been a bunch of crime scene stuff that it's been solved years later, and they always have to mention that. They're like, "Mind you, this is before cell phones,
right?
So you couldn't just
and cameras. Everybody's got a camera.
Yeah, everybody fucking dude. I guarantee it. They want to install cameras in our eyes.
Wait, it's
eventually, man.
I mean, I got cameras all over this house. I mean, we're being recorded right now.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's on purpose. But
this is all smart ways to make sure that bullshit doesn't go down in your fucking sanctuary too.
Right, but it's so easy to just have a camera. You used to back in the day have to have a whole system.
I kind of want to bring that nerdy kid that was on the Sean Ryan show over here, so he can show you how you can hack your fucking cameras from anywhere and shit.
Is that what there's a guy on there that could hack cameras?
This kid, he's like, dude, he's like early 20s. I mean, at least he looks, and he scours the dark web for fucking child porn bullshit and predators and shit, and turns them into the FBI, because he knows how to fucking just hack into people's shit.
Whoa, at least he's doing good with it.
Oh, dude, he's doing so much good. This fucking kid's like got
he can hack into people's phone cameras?
Oh, he can use anything, dude. He's like,
so 100% the government can definitely do that.
Yes. That was a Snowden proved that.
Yeah. So think about that next time you're whacking off to your phone, and all they see is just a head.
A bunch of sweat beads on your forehead.
I mean, it is interesting when you see people like that don't know you're watching someone through a camera that don't know they're being watched. It is interesting. It's interesting.
Yep.
People, people are people. They do what they do.
Yeah.
But
definitely don't get caught with your pants down, so to speak. Yeah, because you don't want to be that guy.
I watched because I've seen, I used to rent the North Hollywood home out to like movie shoots and things like that, and I would keep the cameras on so I can, make sure they're not fucking shit up, or I know when they're done. Anyways, whatever. And to be honest, and all the dressing rooms, I did not have the cameras. Just to let y'all know. And I made sure I told them that, but just because I don't want any problems. Mm-hmm. But the one time I witnessed a complete freak out that they don't know they're being watched. You know what I mean? And the actress was freaking out just over a mental ill lady, or girl actually. And she was freaking out, man. And it was fun to watch. I was like, they have no idea I'm watching. I'm like, this is insane. She just had a freak out. But I'm going, imagine if I can just hack into everybody's phone, like what everybody's doing. Or just when they're just flipping through shit, you're just staring at someone's face. They're just like, oh, zombied out. Duh.
You know? Yeah, but I always thought about that.
I'm going to sip this. Cheers.
I always thought about
I'm gonna
this
sip.
too. Me too. But how lousy is that going to be for the guy on the other end? His job is to sit there and watch 10,000 faces, dude. You know,
I mean, just
dude.
everybody lying in bed. Just,
He's like, for some reason, right around 10 o'clock, 140,000.
That's, and how do you not constantly watch that? That's got to be the best reality show ever. You know?
No,
And you probably witnessed some crazy shit.
I'm good. That reminds me of that reminds me of that Batman with the Christian Bale and Morgan Freeman. You know, he's like, once this is done, destroy all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've already done it. So maybe it is time we just go back to the old flip phones, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to that. But if you get rid of your phone tomorrow, can you function?
Hell yeah.
I mean, can you? You got to get a hold of your wife and your kid. Can you function? You know, you got to.
When I'm at my job,
you got to call school. There's no phone.
When I'm at my job, I get a phone. You know, most of the places that I go.
There's no phone in here other than these. You know.
Well, there's a phone. See.
No, I mean like other than these.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. So, like, say if I took my phone out of the equation.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, somebody's gonna have a phone, and then there's gonna be somebody that I know that has a phone, unless I'm traveling. You know, like on the freeway and such. But then they got those call boxes every so often. And shit,
right.
You know, so.
You know what I would love to do is, you know, for people that rely heavily on their phone all the time.
Snatch it out their pocket for like a week.
Yeah, it'd be fun to
just have the cameras follow them around.
You know, and just watch them just have a meltdown.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that would be crazy. But saying like if I leave the house without my phone, I go, ah, shit. I have to turn around and go get it. You know, I'm waiting for an email or waiting for...
I've left mine at the house before, and then I just call the old lady. I'm like, hey, left my phone at the house, so just so you know.
Yeah, I mean, and I'd probably check my phone and social media probably less than most. Probably less than most. So imagine if that's less than most. Imagine what everybody else is doing.
Well, I've seen all the people that I work with, dude, and it's funny. This is all I see all day long. They're walking around.
Yeah.
With this fucking thing right in front of their face. And I'll fuck with them, you know. I'm like, who's controlling you today? They're like, huh? And I'm like, yeah, you got this thing, like it's controlling you and you're walking towards it.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me, so I'm just saying.
It's like, it is kind of an episode of Black Mirror a little bit. These little devices that we're paying for
are sucking your life.
It's controlling us, but we have to have it. We have to have it.
Yeah, it's a
double-edged
sword.
I have to have it for business. I have to.
Yeah, actually, the most convenient thing for me at my job is taking pictures of shit. You know, when I know that something's wrong, and I got to prove it, like I'm not the dumbass, you are, and I got to take the picture and prove to dumbasses that I'm not the dumbass.
Right.
Yeah, so that definitely comes in handy.
Yeah, it comes in handy. Car accident, you take pictures of the car. You can just send pictures to people immediately.
Shit,
videos.
I can find the closest weed spot. You know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, there's all these great things with it, but also it's controlling us. It 100% is. There's no way around it, guys. It just is.
And how many times have we been talking about some random crazy shit, and then it pops up on your fucking feed, dude?
Every day.
Yep.
It happens every day.
I know.
Every day. So it 100% listens to you, the algorithm, the AI, it all listens to you. And, I mean, it could be like Minority Report, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to commit this crime, so they arrest you before you commit this crime that they think you're going to do.
Yeah.
That's scary shit, man.
That is.
I don't like it.
Nah.
But there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it.
It's total control.
Yeah. It's complete total control. Unless you decide, and if you're financially stable, you can just go, you know what? Nah.
I've had enough of the game.
I've had enough of the game.
I'm off the grid.
Yeah, which I said that the last time I dealt with those idiots at Home Depot. I go, I need to figure out in life how I don't have to know they exist. How I need like an assistant or some where I don't have to conversate with these people. I don't want to conversate with people at the credit card company. I want other people to do that for me. That is my goal, because it's not because I'm being I'm trying to big time or be Mr. Big Shot. I can't mentally take it anymore.
Tired of the idiocy.
I can't take it, and it's not good for me to know that exists. You know?
Well, unfortunately, it is good for you to know it
no,
exists.
It isn't. It is not.
It is.
No. Ignorance is bliss. I really believe that.
No. It's a false bliss, though, dude.
I believe ignorance. It's
because trust me, once you get pissed off at Home Depot and then you go to Ace Hardware. You really appreciate the guy, like here I am doing infos for fucking Ace Hardware and shit, but no.
No, I get what you're saying, but it to me that's the same thing as like this horrendous music out there. It's better for me to not hear it.
Well, that I definitely agree with. Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's better for me to not know that there's those morons at Home Depot that hide in the corner. You know,
that's the weirdest shit I've ever heard.
How did that person get past the interview process?
I don't know. How did he not clam up and become the fucking JP wallpaper and shit from fucking
That's a real thing that happened. Yeah. And I looked at that.
You had JP from fucking Grandma's Boy, dude. That's great.
They're retards over there.
That's so great.
They're so dumb over there. It's crazy. And it's crazy how much stuff they don't know. Just by being in the building, don't you see some shit? Don't you just see where things are at just by being in the building?
And
working there every day? Don't you see things?
I know you have your own section, but you haven't walked through all of them like all us guys do.
Like, how's the manager lady wrong about what I was showing her? She's wrong.
I mean,
how'd you get that position?
Because am I wrong? But not only do I go there and I know which aisle I need to go down to get my shit, but most of the time I'm going to check the other aisles to see if there's other shit that I might need down said aisles. Yeah. You know? And then, when you have something that makes complete sense, like there was one time I wanted a fucking, the top dog fucking shower head and shit, for the old lady and shit. And the guy's like, they should be right there. And I was like, I know, but I've been right there. And it's not fucking there.
That happens all the time. It should be. I go, it's not there.
It's not fucking there. Well, they moved them all to this one end cap that had nothing to do with fucking shower heads. Or I think it was over by like fucking ceiling fans and shit, And I was like, well, here it is, dumb fuck. And I was like, you need to drag that box over there and put it on that end cap, dude. That would just make more sense. You're trying to sell it, put it down the fucking aisle you're trying to sell it.
Well, they don't care about selling anything. They're just
marketing or nothing.
No, they don't give a fuck. I don't know how these people are getting past the interview process. Well, I don't get that.
Well, I think they just know they can do the bare minimum, and for some reason, they don't fire idiots nowadays, dude. I've noticed that.
I mean, I applied for Home Depot. I didn't get the job back in the day.
I didn't either. Imagine that.
I mean, that was definitely back in the day, too. But
here I use them to complete the job that I get paid way more than what they'd fucking pay me to be be a manager, and I'm not even a manager.
They're wrong about everything, and a lot of them are upset that I even asked them for anything.
How dare you? How dare you ask me to do my job?
Like I was trying to get a swamp cooler, and the guy had to get it down with the forklift, right? And then he sighed at me. He went. I go, what the fuck? I go, never mind, dude.
I don't want that shit at all.
I'm out.
Yep.
I'm out of here. God, I went to another Home Depot and picked one up.
In your head, you cocked back and let him have it, or what?
No, well, I was like in my head, like, you just sigh at me, like, what the fuck?
Because for some reason that's one of my irritants, dude. When somebody's like, whatever I said is getting in the way of their day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I'm right here, and you're getting in the way of my day doing some stupid shit like that. So,
like, all you got to do, like, it's your job.
That's it.
You get to drive a forklift. That's fun.
You get paid for this. Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude. Well, I'm just saying, it's like everything's a hassle. It's hard to get service with people.
Any kind of good work and good fucking pride in your job. When I was a kid, dude, fucking still to this day, I mean, but still, when I was a kid, I was learned to have pride in my work.
Getting paid. What they say, though, is because by the time, again, our generation, nobody's going to trade school anymore. You know what I mean? Like electricians or iron workers.
I know a lot
or
of kids that are doing that shit.
Yeah, but they're apparently these schools are closing down. A lot of these trade schools because there's not enough people to
keep them open.
To keep them open, because kids are not wanting to do anything with their hands or anything like that anymore.
Well, no, they can suck a computer's dick and get paid, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right, but somebody is gonna have to build things at some point. You will have to find.
Somebody's gonna have to keep building those buildings.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to keep laying those railroads.
Yeah, very interesting. All right, man, let's get out of here.
Cheers.
Down the hatch. Oi.
Yeah, she's lost and so hard to fight. Take us away to the songs that play. When we danced alone for the first time. Well, no, what's the emergency? I will never leave. Baby, stay with me, darling, just take my hand.
Take my hand.
I got this under control. 'Cause in a little while, you're gonna explode into oblivion. What's got a hold of you, baby? What's got you down? Just look at this family and all that surrounds you. Think of the memory of a bond so strong. Put those ghosts and demons back where they belong. No, now you're losing it. Why you doing this? Not around the kids. Darling, just take my hand.
Take my hand.
I'll keep you under control. 'Cause in a little while, we're gonna explode into a billion, trillion.
He said.
Yeah, what's the emergency? I will never leave. Baby, stay with me. Take my hand.
Take my hand.
I got this under control. 'Cause in a little while,